Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about the best shutters that I found out for hail. Up here in the Midwest we get quite a bit, and actually back in 2016 we had a really bad hailstorm in my town. We had golf ball sized hail, and I'd swear it lasted for 20 minutes because I was actually out in it and trapped in it. But it wrecked all of our windows on our south sides of our homes, and our skylights it knocked out, the back windows of cars. There was nothing left of them. And I wasn't sure what I want, and it was 650 bucks at that time for a new window. And then 2 years later, I had another window just go bad, and the price had already gone up to $750, and I'm not even sure what a window would cost now in 2023. So I thought I'd better find some type of shutter to protect them if I know that a storm is coming. So originally I'd gone ahead and I'd taken some 1x4s and made a big thing to put over it, but it's so heavy, and then you're screwing into your siding, and you have the risk of getting water into your siding. And I thought about making the big batten shutters out of 1x4s too to swing, and I bought hinges for them, 3 for each side, but those hinges wouldn't be able to handle that kind of weight, I don't think. 1x4s are just still so heavy. I thought about the option of using plywood. Plywood's really light with the hinges, like a batten shutter, but it doesn't look that good, even if you paint it up and everything. And then I remember that one of my neighbors down the street, he'd inherited his parents' home, and he's retired now, but so his parents were really old, and so it had the old glass that wasn't as tough anymore, and everybody in town had lost their windows on the west side of their house that hailstorm, except for one of my classmates. He'd bought his grandma's house, and he'd spent like 30 or 60,000 back in the day, which was a lot of money, to do the hurricane proof it. He went ahead and he bought the really thick glass windows. They call them hurricane windows. And he bought steel siding for the house, and he bought the steel shingles for the house. And he only lost one window in the house, and was in the garage, where he never switched to the new style of hurricane windows. He just left his old glass window from when his grandma was still alive, when she owned the house. But other than that, he was all good. But my neighbor down the street, when he got his parents' house, I noticed for many years he'd had a bamboo shades, or well, it was bamboo shades over them, and I'd always wondered like how many windows that he lost or whatever, and I finally ran into him, and I was like, how many windows did you lose on the west side in that storm? And he's like, yeah, with that golf ball sized hail, he's like, I never lost a single window on the entire house. He's like, the hail just bounced right off those shades. And I was like, that's crazy. So I went up and I looked at them, and I expect them to be like half-inch plats of bamboo, like a bamboo pole. They're not. They're shaved down to like crochet needles, shish kebab or skewers like that. And when I originally looked at it, I was like, those are about the thickness of straw. I was like, how could that handle golf ball sized hail? And I talked to one of the other neighbors, and he actually said that he put bamboo flooring in his back porch, and he said bamboo is actually harder than oak. Yeah, it's just tough stuff. It has a really strong tensile strength. So I asked my neighbor, I was like, okay, with those, I was like, do I need to order them online? He's like, nope. He's like, I actually bought them in 2016, right before the hailstorm. And he said just so much sun was coming in from the west, and it was getting so hot in his kitchen and dining room, so he put them up, and he's like, with all the cracks in the bamboo, he's like, it still lets light into the house, and it's nice. And he's like, I actually just went to Menards there before the hailstorm, and right next to the painting department is where they have the shades, and they're already a preset length. But he's like, you just tell the worker what width you want them cut down to. So the worker went ahead and cut them down to the width that my neighbor wanted for each of his windows, and they have the drawstring on them to draw, raise and lower them. And I was like, how much did you pay for those at Menards? And he's like, honestly, I don't remember back in 2016. So I went ahead and I looked it up on Menards website, and it looked like it's about, for each width, it's a different price. So like for my windows, it's going to require 31 inches wide. So that one is going to be $81. But they have some as low as like 50 some, and then some are like 111 if you have like a really wide window. But like I noticed with his house, he's got like two windows in the kitchen right next to each other. Instead of getting one super wide one, with his he always went with a separate shade for each one is what he bought. And he said that one of them's kind of getting weathered up at the top, but the area that covers the window is all good. So 4, 5, 6, 7 years now, and they're still holding up for him. And yeah, so when I looked underneath Menards there, they don't have the drawstring ones anymore. They're the push ones that have that rod or whatever in the middle that you push up, push down. And actually, a lot of people said they prefer them. And I think it's only like 3 screws you got to screw on top to secure them to your house. And then he does not secure them on the bottom with any eyelets or screw or nothing. He actually lets them hang a little ways past the window, just sagging there, and they don't blow in the wind or nothing, straight from the west. And when I measured his, they extend half an inch past the outside of the frame of his window is what coverage he did on there. So that's the route that I'm going with my house. And yeah, because I didn't see too many options. I know some of my neighbors, like if they go on vacation or whatever and they worry about hailstorms, they spent a lot of money back in like the late 70s on their really nice homes, and they actually have the pull down steel shutters, which I didn't even see those. And so, but I can only imagine how much those would cost. But I'm sure you have to have somebody especially make them. But these bamboo ones are a very good option for anybody that's got kind of a cottage style house or log cabin style house, or you just want to protect your investment of your windows. So, all right, take care, you guys.